It's Sunday, September the 15th, just before 9 o'clock, and I'm just setting off from Alness, making my way up the coast. First of all through Invergordon, but I'm heading for Tain, and as I speak the sun is just coming out, which is rather nice. There's quite a strong wind, but I'm pleased to say it's behind me today, which is a blessing because it's quite a strong wind actually. And as you can see, I'm walking along a pavement. Well, I am for now actually, because it stops in about 200 yards, but I've chosen this particular route because I had probably 3 or 4 different ones to choose from. I thought it would be sensible to do my best to try and chuck as much interest into this film. Route 1 would have been right through a forest, more or less, for 14 miles, and I can't see it might have been easy for me and quicker for me, but I'd rather get a bit of different feature and shots of the coast whenever I can, and I'm just about to come up to that now as it happens. But it's a nice morning, I'm in the mood, I know what I've got to do this week. It's Sunday today, Ralph's going to turn up probably Wednesday or Thursday, so I want to be putting 15 miles a day in every day, and I'm in good condition for doing that. I can't see that being a problem, and I've discovered that there's a railway line, the Kyle of Lochalsh Railway, which runs from Inverness, which I'll be able to use. There is a Sunday service, I've checked it out, and I've got all day to get to Tain, but I think there's 2 trains today, and I think I can catch the second one, which is very interesting. So it's I'm all revved up, I'm ready to rock. So here we go, and there's a moose loose about this house. It's exactly 10 o'clock now, and I'm in Invergordon. There is an industrial side of this which is based around sort of marine maintenance and service. The high street is just one long straight street. It's quite curious really. There is a very strong wind this morning, as you probably can tell from some of the pictures. The good thing is it's right behind me, which is rather good. I don't think I'm going to see anything much better than I'm actually seeing to my right, which is like almost like an inland lake really, around sort of Ross and Cromarty, and it's all to do with servicing oil rigs and that kind of thing, you know, really heavy stuff. And you know, they obviously make quite a good living from it. I'm making really good progress actually with this little bit of wind assistance. I'm getting a bit of a move on. I've already done about 4.5 miles, and I'm quite pleased with that. And I'm looking forward to getting to Tain and looking how far I can get from there tomorrow. I'm really hell-bent on this 14 miles a day, and I think I can fit that in. I've had a look. Ralph actually sent me an email with a very detailed Land's End to, Inverness to John O'Groats walk, which is really for the purist walker, which I would like to say I am one of those, but you know, when I'm videoing I like to try and get a bit of everything, as you know. But it's going well this morning. It's a bit cold. I'm not going to get a cup of tea anywhere this morning at this time on a Sunday morning. It's almost like a ghost town, but that's what you'd expect in a place like this. So I'm making good progress. I'll see you later. Well, I've just stopped at the Tuckers Inn. I've only just come through Invergordon. I'm on the outskirts now, sort of heading out towards Tain. And this is Bridget, who's kindly made me a very nice cup of tea. It's a Sunday morning early. There's not many people around this morning, Bridget, at this time.
No, there isn't.
Only you and I, really.
The two chefs in the kitchen.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So obviously it's a busy pub then. It looks a very nice pub.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it gets busy on the night time with meals and things.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Now you've got a bit of a Yorkshire twang.
I have got a bit of a Yorkshire twang, yes.
So where are you from then?
Near Eggborough.
Eggborough, that's, let me just think, that's sort of Goole, Selby direction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Wakefield.
in between Goole, Selby, Doncaster, Wakefield,
yes,
yeah.
Yes,
so,
that's right. So it's like coal mining area over the years, isn't
yeah.
it? Very much.
Yeah, my dad's actually Scottish, but his family moved down years ago for the mines.
Yes.
So
yeah. How long have you been down here then?
I've been here 16 years now.
Right, it's a very quiet part of the world compared to sort of where you're from.
I don't know,
isn't it?
the pubs can get a bit wild at times.
Really?
Yeah, even when you go further north as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I'm a week away now from John O'Groats.
So are you coming back the same way, or are you going?
No,
Or are you going to go down the west coast by round?
No, my plan is when I get to John O'Groats, I'm going to have a break, and then I'm coming back next spring and approaching it from the west coast, from Gretna Green. And I've got a camper van, I've got a tow bar, and I've got a little car that I'm going to tow behind me. Because on the west coast, I reckon, you know, not so much the west coast, you know,
a lot of it's
busy
single
part.
track as well.
Yes, and it's when you get right up to the north and you're doing right across the top.
When you come across round Betty Hill and back down.
Yes.
It's a lot. It's mostly single track roads.
Yes.
Mostly.
Yes, well, I experienced all that in
quiet
Cornwall,
this time
you know. Yeah, I walked Cornwall last winter.
All right, so.
But no, I've done over 4,000 miles now. Nearly 4,200 actually. And since I got to Berwick-on-Tweed, that was more or less 2 months ago, and I've done exactly 500 miles. So it's all working to plan.
Good.
I have my ups and downs, but generally speaking, it's going well.
Right,
Lovely to meet you, Bridget.
You too.
Thanks for the tea.
You're welcome.
It's just after 1 o'clock now, and I'm in Kildare. I've just seen a sign saying that it's just 6 miles now to Tain, and whichever way I do it, if I was to go back onto the A9, which I've got no intention of doing it, that would approach Tain more or less from the left. But if I go on this road, walk up this road, I'll pick up the cycle route number 1, and that takes me to Tain in a different direction, but at least it'll be peaceful and quiet. You can hear the A9 more or less all along this route, even though it's been probably sometimes a mile away or more. You can hear that constant drone of traffic. I don't know how people actually live right alongside these roads where the noise from a major road is just constant, but I suppose it's what you get used to. So everything's going quite well. My intentions are to get a bus or a train back to Alness, and then from there I'm going to drive up here and find somewhere suitable. I did actually get moved yesterday from Morrison's. The manager quite politely tapped on the van door when I was in the middle of a phone conversation with Trish, as it happens, and saying, would you mind moving now, you've been here long enough? I said, yep, fine, no problem. And I went there then to the railway station car park and slept on the car park there, and walked past Morrison's this morning to find that it was open. I didn't think it opened till 10 o'clock on a Sunday, but it was open at 8 o'clock. I could have got a breakfast and everything, but I already had a breakfast before I left the railway station. And I also had a cup of tea with at a very nice pub where the lady was from Yorkshire, you probably remember, and I also bumped into a lady where I had a problem with my camera. The button, you know, to recording button jammed. It just got stuck, and I didn't have any way of freeing it. So I asked this lady who was walking along in the opposite direction, you wouldn't have such a thing as a pin, would you? Which she did have, and she gave me it, and I was able to sort of pick the piece of plastic, kind of pick it out and then work it a little bit, and it's perfectly okay again now. But just to be on the safe side, I'll put some I've got all kinds of electrical contact stuff and you know, sprays and things. I'll find something that'll ease it off. And bear in mind, it's only a week, 10 days old, this camera. That's a bit unnerving, really, but I'll have a look at it when I get back. It's working perfectly okay now. I'm not worried about it now, but I will have another look at it. So, as I say, I've got about 6 miles to do, 2 hours. I'm on my way. 4:10 now, and I was just a little bit unfortunate having arrived here at Tain railway station that I missed the previous train that was travelling to Inverness by about 10 minutes. And on top of that, I went to the co-op and was talking to the lady behind the counter who knew what the score was with the buses, and I just missed a bus then, so I'm having to wait nearly 2 hours for the next one. It won't be leaving until 5 to 5, so it's given me a bit of a chill out. I'm not in a rush anyway, to be honest with you. There's no rush to get back, and what I intend to do is, when I get back there, I'm going to drive up here. It looks a delightful place, this, it really does. It's fantastic. It's been a nice walk. I'm glad I did it the way I did it, even though I know to find variety of shots is quite difficult when you haven't got that much to choose from. But again, as I always say, I always do my best to pick out the best shots and the best music and edit it all together. And I've enjoyed it today. I've really enjoyed it. I've had the wind behind me all day, which is really good. And it was a good walk. I feel great. I'm going to be fine for tomorrow. No problem there. I don't know how many miles I've done. I think it's about 16 today. So it's above the average that I need to do, so I'm happy with that. So that's about it. I'll see you on. Bye now. Bye.